Hello everyone and welcome. So in today's session we are going to learn about Python modules. So these Python modules are simply files with .py extensions which contains Python code that you have been writing and running till now. So in simple terms we can consider a module to be same as a code, library or a file that contains a set of functions that you want to include in your applications. So a Python module is a file containing Python definition and statements. So a module can be defined as a function, class and library. A module can also include runnable codes, and one of the advantages of module is that you can group related codes in a module that makes the code easier to understand and use. So if you want to organize your code very logically, so one of the best method is to use modules. So as I said, in Python, modules are simply files with .py extension which consist of Python codes and which you can incorporate or which you can import in any other Python program. So in simple terms, we can consider a module to be same as a code of library or a file, and this module contains the following components, that is the definition and implementation of classes, variables and function that could be included or that can be included inside another program. So module allows you to use one or more functions in a program, even in the program in which those function has not been defined. So that is one of the major advantages of module. So you can use them as you have used functions, and as I said, it's a file with .py extension, and program which want to use the function and variable which are inside the module will use import keyword to link or import the module or the .py files. That means you have to import those modules inside the Python codes or programs where you want to use those particular modules. So how to create a module? So to create a Python module, you have to use the .py extension to save your code in a file. The import statement is used to import all the functionalities of the module in another Python program. That means you write your module with .py extension, and then with the help of the import statement, you can call those modules inside another Python program and you can use them. Let us see some examples. So let us consider this particular example of module. So this is how the module has been defined. So def, this is the module name, and this is the value that will be passed, that is the name. And this particular module is just printing hello, and whatever variable has been passed, value has been passed to the variable name. Now this has been saved as program name.py, as you can see on the top, program name.py. That means you can give any program name with .py extension, you can save it. Now this is the program where I am calling that particular module, or I want to use that particular module. So for that I have to use import, and then the file name that you use to store that particular module. So our module was this_module.py, that was the py file. So I am importing this_module. So it is going to import all the variables, functions, whatever you have declared inside that particular module, and the function or the module name was display, and we are passing the values to name. So as you can see in this program, so I am writing, this is the file name that I am importing, that is import this_module .disp. This is the module name, right? So we are calling this particular file which consists of this particular module. So this_module is the file name, and this is the module, and I am passing the value Rizwan. So as you can see, this is the module. So in this particular module, when I pass a value, so it is going to print hello with that particular name. So when I execute this particular code, you can see on this console that it is printing hello and then the value that was passed. So that particular module or functionality has not been written here. We have imported the file where this module exists and we are passing the value, and that module is actually printing the entire thing, hello with the name. So this is how a module is created and used. So once you write a module, you have to save it with a .py extension file name, and the program in which you are calling that particular module, you have to use import and then the file name, and then file name dot the module name and whatever value you want to pass. So when you execute, that particular module will be imported and the functionality will be executed. So our module can also contain variables like an array, dictionary, objects, etc. So we can incorporate all these things inside a module. Let's see certain examples. Now in this particular example, as you can see that we have created certain variables, right, like name, age and city. Now this module has been saved as stu.py. Now here if I import stu, that is the file name, then I can print all the variables which have been declared here. So how to do that? So I am importing the file, import stu, and then I am saying stu.student city, stu.student city. So inside the student we have got city which is declared as Dibrugarh. So in this particular file, when I say stu.student and city, so it is going to import the values from this particular file where I have declared this variable. So the city is declared as Dibrugarh. So when I execute this particular code, you can see that's city Dibrugarh, name Borua and age 22 has been printed. So all these values for the city, for the name, for the age has been called using the import statement from a py file which actually stores those values. So with a module we can also import the variables. So I am importing that particular file where those variables have been declared, and then with the help of dot operator, this is the dot operator. So this is the file name, this is where the variables were declared, and this is the variable name. So I can access all the variables. We can also rename a module with the help of as keyword. So this as keyword will allow you to rename a particular module. Let's see an example. So in this particular example, I am importing that file stu as s. So as you can see, I am using the keyword as. So now instead of stu, I can write s. As you can see here, city name equal to s dot student, and I am calling the value inside the variable city. So instead of stu, now I can write s. I can replace that with s. So when I execute this code, as you can see, the outputs are Dibrugarh and Borua because I am printing the city and the name. So this is how you can import a file and you can change the name of a particular module with the help of as keyword. So now let us see another example of module where we will be using the functionalities of a calculator. So in this particular module, which I am storing as cal.py file, so you can see I am performing addition, I am performing multiplication, division and subtraction. So all these functionalities are being performed. So these are the names: add, multiply, divide and subtract. So I will be passing values to these parameters. So the parameters are a and b, and it will perform addition and it will return the values. So this is the program where I am going to import. So I am saying import cal. Cal is the .py file where I have written this particular module. So here what I will do is that I will input the values of a and b, and then I will call the add module and the multiply module from the file calc. So as you might have understood by now that for that purpose we have to first import cal, that is the file name where actually these modules exist. So I have written import cal, then I have taken two variables a and b, and what I am doing is inputting two numbers with the help of input keyword, and I am converting them to integers, and then I am saying print sum equal to cal dot add. So I am calling the add module inside the cal file, and I am passing the values of a and b. So let's execute this particular code. So here it is asking me for the first number. Enter the first number. So I add the first number. Then it is asking me for the second number. So I have given the second number, and you can see as soon as I give the second number, it gives me the sum as well as the product. Similarly, in this cal file, I have got division and subtraction. I can even call division and subtraction. So if I want to subtract the numbers, so I will say print subtract equal to cal dot sub a comma b. So what it's going to do is that now it's going to call the module subtraction, that is, and it is going to perform the subtraction. So let's execute this particular code. So it is asking for the first number. So let's input the next number. So as you can see, so we're getting the sum, product and the subtraction. So this is the utility of a module. So you can write the codes in a .py file, and you can then call those particular modules in any other file where you want their functionalities.